What is going on, guys? Thank you for joining me today. As you can see, I got my beautiful mic set up here. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. So I kind of like when I collect cards, right? And a lot of you guys have seen my collection. There's kind of different. I like to collect Pokemon I like, right? And one of them is my Muse. You can see my whole run of Muse up on the top there. Another one's Arcanine. Another one's Magikarps. So I kind of wanted to switch this up, right, to where it's Pokemon specific. So Squirtle being another one of my favorites. As you can see, I got a little Squirtle tattoo on my arm right there. Squirtle being one of my favorites, I kind of wanted to look at Squirtle and decide what cards that I think, if you're a Squirtle fan, that you should probably invest in, be a good place to put your money, and what cards I'd probably stick away from, right? So let's get into it. Alright, so let me see if I can, boom, we'll move that right over here. Alright, so here we are, we're on TCG Player, sorted high to low. Obviously, if you're a Squirtle fan or you're looking to invest in Squirtle, obviously, base set Shadowless is probably where you want to go. I wouldn't invest in Unlimited. I'd probably stick to First Edition myself. So like, there you go. Lightly played First Edition. Boom. Now, is this a card I think that you guys could make money on in the long run? I think it's a card. I think this is a card there you can put money in, and you'll at least get what you want out of it, right? So let's say like this guy who invested $50 for a lightly played, at any given time he wants to sell that card, he's going to get about $50 for it, right? So it's a nice place to park your money. I wouldn't buy it to make money, right? But as a Squirtle fan, if I was to put money into a card, I definitely think base set Shadowless First Edition is where I would park my money if I had extra money to spend. Boom. Pokemon Center, Squirtle exclusive. Very nice card. I do think that it's very overhyped right now, and I do think it's going to drop. So I definitely think that this card right here is going to become, I would guess, probably a $25 to $35 card, right? And the reason I said it is because it's a reprint. Only thing really special about the Pokemon Center badge, there are other cards out there that have the Pokemon Center badge that I think, as far as, if you don't look at the Pokemon, if you look at the Pokemon Center badging, just Pokemon Center badging as itself, there are other cards that are right around that $20 to $35 range. Even though I do love this card, even though I have a copy of this card, I definitely think that it's actually overhyped, and I do see this price falling, especially if they do a third reprint. Alright, boom. Squirtle, illustration rare. Definitely, I think if I was to put money into a card to invest and try to make money on later on, I think this is probably one of the most beautiful Squirtle cards that I've ever seen. It's definitely a fan favorite of mine. I believe mine's a PSA 9. Yeah, and I'm hanging on to that bad boy because I'm a Squirtle fan, and this is like, if you're a Squirtle fan, this is definitely a card. Like other cards, maybe not like a pickup. This card's a pickup, like for sure. This card's a pickup. Classic collection Squirtle. I have one of those as well. It's a card I'd buy right now because it's cheap. I do see over time it's going up, but who knows? Right now, the Classic Collection boxes are diving in price. So because they're diving in price, it's like, is this card going to get cheaper before it gets more expensive? I definitely see this being like an $18, $20 card. And it's a beautiful, like, you guys can't see it in that, but it is a beautiful card. Here we go. Boom, like it is a beautiful card, iconic, classic. I love the foiling on it. but it's probably a card. I see it probably getting a little bit cheaper before it gets more expensive, but I do think over time this card specifically is going to be a $20 card. Squirtle City Championships, that's cool, but as somebody who wants to collect Squirtle cards, I probably wouldn't be investing my money into that, right? This card's cool too, but like I said, doesn't stand out to me as far as like what I want to add to my collection. Doesn't stand out for me from an investment perspective. Alright, Ditto Squirtle down here. Ditto Squirtle. Very cool. People look for these Ditto cards. So I do think that card is probably a safe bet as far as, especially if you're going to send out and get graded, right? So like everything I'm telling you, if you were to send these out and get graded, you're definitely going to make a little bit money on, or at least break even, right? And in the long run, you're probably going to make money on. Like, I know right now with this being as cheap as it is, to send it off to get graded and it coming back a 9 or a 10, you're going to make money on it. Like, hands down, you're going to make money on it, right? Probably the same thing with the classic collection Squirtle right here. You're probably going to make money on it. You send it out to PSA and then go to resell it. Now, I'm not saying go send it out for $75, but you send it out for the lowest price, you know, with 24 other cards. Definitely think you'll make money on it. All right. This Squirtle's really cool. Not really desirable to add it to my collection, but it's very cool. Like, is this a card I think you can make money on? No. Like, e-reader I think's coming up. I think e-reader is starting to get popular again, so you might be able to snake out a couple extra dollars, but no. Build-A-Bear, yes, definitely. I definitely think you look at other Build-A-Bear promos. And I know we've looked at Build-A-Bear a lot, but you look at other Build-A-Bear promos and they are way more expensive. They're creeping up towards the $30 mark. Build-A-Bear, like, not only do you have Pokemon branding, not only is it a popular starter, but it has the Build-A-Bear logo. I love the Build-A-Bear promos. I think they're undervalued. I do think that in time this will be, you know, a $20 card at least. You know, if not, at least a $10 card, right? So you can see, like, boom, $3.99, $4.19, $6. Sorry guys, it's really late right now. But yeah, like, for sure. Let's go through. Boom, that's a beautiful Squirtle card. I definitely think that if you're a Squirtle person, to pick that up. That one, not so much. This one, yes, if you're a Squirtle fan, you got to have this one. Definitely, art's beautiful. Like, this is the Nirvana Squirtle. Like, definitely a beautiful card. Definitely, I think, undervalued for this. So, like, if you're gonna be investing in Squirtle, and Squirtle cards specifically, that's definitely one. Boom. Rocket Squirtle, same thing. Rocket Squirtle, once again, if you're going to be investing in any of these cards, go for the first edition. Please go for the first edition, because the first edition is something that, like, when I'm buying bulk, right, off of a Facebook, or, you know, off of a person who's DM'd me on Instagram, like, the first thing I do when I'm going through bulk, especially if it's non-holos, is I'm looking for that first edition stamp. So, like, if you're buying it to resell, first of all, then you need to go more towards the grading market. I feel like otherwise you're just, like, trying to flip it for the exact same amount you purchased it for. If you're buying it to hold and you think it's going to increase in value, these are what I'm telling you. Go first edition, you know, get clean copies. And if you're buying it just to have, because you love the Pokemon card, buy damaged. Like realistically, I mean, if I love the card, like, I'm not gonna, that's cool with the stamp. If I buy the cards, like, I'm not gonna care that it's, like, I'll be Masaki's Gengar. Wouldn't care if it's damaged if I have one. Latios and Latios Alternate Art GX. Wouldn't care. if it was damaged if I had one. So like, you know, if you're buying the cards because you want them, right? And I get it. Some people want really clean copies, but like before I had really clean copies of some of my favorite cards, I had damaged versions, and I slowly like traded up to get better and better copies, traded up to get X, Y, and Z. So yeah, so definitely like if I'm looking to invest in for the long run of like cards I think will do well. First edition base set shadowless. Of course, you're gonna pay premium on it. Right now, Squirtle, I think this is probably the best bang for the buck as far as money that I'm gonna park and try to get. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if this card goes up to $30 to $50, right? In the long run, because I think this is gonna be an iconic. This is gonna be an iconic Squirtle card, just like how I think this, boom, iconic Squirtle card, right? Rocket. To me, that's an iconic card, but I don't think a lot of people love the card like I love this card. You know, but yeah, like those are definitely like the ones that I look at firsthand when I'm going after cards. Like that's another one. I remember that one. That's another one that I would. I remember playing these in the same deck back in the day. You know. So, ooh, wouldn't you love to have that one, right? So anyways, guys, if you're a Squirtle fan, let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me, right? Like, if you're going to invest in Squirtle cards, what cards would you be going after? Because I'm telling you, if I'm a Squirtle collector, which I have a couple of these, if I'm a Squirtle collector and I'm collecting it to increase my money value later on down the line, especially if I'm going PSA, right? I would go, boom, first edition shadowless, boom, beach Squirtle, boom, Nirvana Squirtle, right? And I'd probably stop there, maybe add the Build-A-Bear on there too, right? Because Build-A-Bear, not a lot of PSA Build-A-Bear cards, like, you know. And that's honestly where I go. But like if I'm looking to make it flip maybe a couple months down the line, definitely. Like that card right there, iconic. Like I don't think there'll ever be a prettier card than that as far as Squirtle goes. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you, right? Would you guys invest in some of these cards? And if you so, what's your favorite Squirtle card? Let me know. Let me know what your favorite Squirtle card is. Yeah, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know in the comments below what card you would buy. And yeah, anyways, thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.